All right, so we continue with the differential amplifier. So what we see here, we have this schematic where we have the two input terminals of the operational amplifiers. And to the negative input terminal, we apply voltage V1, and to the positive input terminal, we apply voltage V2. And we have this resistor R1, and in the feedback, we have another resistor, which is R2. And here we have resistor R3, and that's another resistor R4, which is connected to the ground right over here. And the difference voltage is indicated by a small V2 and let's say V1 right here. Okay, so the difference of the voltage between these two terminals is nothing but a VID, as we've seen that. So the question here is how to determine the input resistance of this configuration. Or we can always also say that differential input resistance, because it's the differential amplifier. So it's indicated by RID. Obviously, so it's a resistance. So what we have here is the VID divided by the current flowing through this circuit. So that should be the ratio of voltage over the current. So let us see how we can determine it. So what we see here, we say that we can draw this circuit in this fashion. So we have this feedback resistor R1 and R2 in place, and these two resistors are also there. And this differential voltage we can represent with this differential voltage source, and we call it VID. So that's the voltage that appears across the two terminals of the operational amplifier, which has a gain indicated by A over here. And for simplification, we say that resistor R3 is equal to R1 and resistor R4 is equal to R3. So these are the simplification analysis. R3 is equated to R1 and R4 is equal to R2. So that's how our new circuit goes there. And here we have this VI, V1, and here we have V2. And the voltage difference between these two is VID, nothing but VID. Okay, so what we see here, the current starts flowing through this loop, and because of this virtual ground concept, we know that these two voltages right over here okay, so we have this voltage V1 and V2, and due to virtual short, this is virtual short, the VID has to be 0 because we assume that the gain is infinite, right? So V is there. So gain is infinite, VID is 0, and this is virtual short. Okay, and with this, we see that this loop gets closed. So we have VID and the current starts flowing through the loop. It passes through this resistor and comes back to this terminal right over here. Okay, so we can simply write the loop equation, which is VID minus I times R1, that is the drop across this resistor. Of course, this voltage at this node and the voltage at this node is 0. So there is a short here, and the current, and the current is flowing through this loop right over here. Okay. and we have to determine this voltage. So we see that minus IR1. So there is the drop across this resistor that equals to 0. Okay, so we are interested for the current in this loop right over here and the voltage drop in this loop. So VID then is equal to I times R1 plus I times R1, that equals to, we see that I 2 R1. Okay, so we see here VID times over I, that is 2 times R1. So that is nothing but your RID, that is the differential input resistance. Okay, so we know that the gain of this circuit, which is A, is the ratio of R2 over R1. So if we decrease the R1 in order to increase the gain A, we see that RID, which is 2 times R1, goes down because we decrease the resistor R1. So that's the drawback of this circuit right over here. So advantage is that the gain is set by the ratio of these two resistors. We can tune in the gain, but we have a reduction in R1. So if the input resistance of this amplifier is decreased, so what that means is that we have the assumption that no current uh, passes or enters the two input terminals of this amplifier, right? Because we see here the resistance, the differential input resistance RID, that is RID, is approximately infinite for the ideal case. So for a practical case, it has a definite value. So if that value goes down, it means there is some current, some amount of current will try to enter the input terminals of the amplifier, and then our analysis doesn't hold true for by assuming the ideal conditions. So that's the explanation for this circuit right over here. Okay, so we continue and we try to see modification in the amplifiers, operation amplifier, and we see how this problem of reduced input resistance can be solved, and how we can have the same amount of or even increased amount of gain by this amplifier circuit.